How to Find and Harvest Wild American Ginseng by Sarah Welch, September 16th, 2020. This article is from farmanddairy.com, and I randomly pulled off this article from the internet. I was curious about the ginseng in America. I heard that they imported ginseng seeds from Korea and planted them in the continent, and those roots, ginseng roots, are quite thick and long that they look like a radish roots. So it is quite unimaginable that ginseng could be that big. For example, ginseng is just like a dog's penis, but American ginseng is like a horse penis. That's too large. But once again, I was wrong in my thinking that American ginseng, they don't have the wild ginseng, but instead they have wild ginseng, and the back history tells us that ginseng trade started in early 1700s, so it's quite amazing. And the wild ginseng trade contributed to the local economy from Wyoming to, not from Wyoming, but North Carolina or Maine or New York. So let's find out how we can spot red ginseng in American hillsides. So here we go. How to find, by the way, I'm trying to read this article to practice English by reading it aloud. Yes, I'm Korean, and I have to constantly work hard to practice English, to hone in on my English, so that I could use it when I move to America. How to Find and Harvest Wild American Ginseng by Sarah Welch. American Ginseng by Pitillo Dan J. USFWS. Own work, public domain, CCO. Okay, it's a public domain. It's not a Shutterstock, private Shutterstock. It's just publicly usable domain. Ginseng root has been sought after and used for its medicinal properties for thousands of years. Ginseng has been touted for its antioxidant properties as well as its potential to benefit brain function, boost immunity, increase energy levels, and lower blood sugar. Wow, so it benefits brain function, boost immunity, increase energy levels, and lower blood sugar. Wow, ginseng is quite, sometimes it's sweet, especially when you make an extract, very thick, gooey substance after boiling the ginseng for many hours. It becomes sweet and tart, gooey. So, but instead, it lowers blood sugar, it boosts immunity, increase brain function, and increase energy levels. It has also been studied as a way to improve mood, boost endurance, and treat cancer, heart disease, fatigue, erectile dysfunction, hepatitis C, symptoms from menopause, and other conditions. Many of these studies have produced promising results, but the evidence is considered inconclusive. American ginseng. American ginseng is found throughout deciduous forests in eastern and central United States and in southeastern Canada. It is a slow-growing perennial that typically grows 8 to 15 inches tall. It grows predominantly in woodland, favoring slopes with rich soil and dense shade. So there's quite a hint. It is a slow-growing, the growth cycle is a decade, perennial that typically grows to 8 to 15 inches tall. And American ginseng is found throughout deciduous forests in eastern and central United States. Deciduous forests. The leaves from the trees fall when it is autumn. So it is called deciduous, not evergreen. So deciduous forest, and it is a slow-growing perennial. It grows predominantly in woodland, favoring slopes with rich soil and dense shade. That's good expressions. It grows predominantly in woodland, favoring slopes with rich soil and dense shade. Favoring slopes and with rich soil and dense shade. American ginseng seedlings typically begin to appear in May. They begin to produce small clusters of white flowers that will develop into green fruits from June to July. The green fruits ripen into bright red berries and drop in August and September. Oh, I didn't know that. American ginseng seedlings typically begin to appear in May. They begin to produce small clusters of white flowers that will develop into green fruits from June to July. The green fruits ripen into bright red berries and drop in August and September. Harvest season for ginseng root is allowed in Ohio from September 1st to December 31st. That's ginseng season. It's enforced, but not forcibly, but mildly. Ohio ginseng harvest regulations. If you are planning on harvesting ginseng, make sure you are aware of your state's regulations as well as federal regulations. Below Ohio's regulations are outlined. I would say Ohio's regulations shown below are outlined, or Ohio's regulations are outlined as below. Digging ginseng is not permitted on state and federal property. A permit is not required to harvest the ginseng on private property from September 1st to December 31st. However, a forager must have written permission from the landowner to hunt and harvest there. Forager, right? A forager must have written permission from the landowner to hunt and harvest there. Written permission is abstract word, so no article like or an. But it depends on the context. Sometimes it can have an article, sometimes it can have a plural form. Plants must reach a certain level of maturity before being harvested, having at least 3 leaves. Foragers must keep accurate records that include county and collection data. Foragers must plant the seeds from the plants they've collected where they found them immediately after collecting them. Plant the seeds from the plants they've collected where they found them immediately after collecting them. A ginseng dealer permit from the Division of Wildlife is required to buy ginseng for resale or export. Ginseng dealer permit from the Division of Wildlife. A ginseng dealer permit from the Division of Wildlife. All ginseng must be certified by the Division of Wildlife before it is exported from Ohio. Certification documents must be kept with each lot of ginseng leaving the state. Each lot of ginseng leaving the state. Determining the age of ginseng plants. Foragers can determine the age of ginseng plants in one of 2 ways. Really? Method 1. Count the number of leaves on the plant. Ginseng plants typically have 1 to 4 compound leaves. Each leaf is comprised of 3 to 5 leaflets. Compound leaves. Each leaf is comprised of 3 to 5 leaflets. All states with approved wild ginseng harvest programs prohibit the harvest of plants that have fewer than 3 leaves. So 1 leaf, 2 leaves, it's prohibited. But 3 leaves, it's okay to harvest. Plants with 3 leaves are at least 5 years old. So good cycle. In Korea, all ginseng is harvested when it is 4 years old or 5 years old, even 6 years old. Usually 6 years old, they are all harvested. Plants with 3 leaves are at least 5 years old. Method 2. Count the number of stem scars on the rhizome or root neck of the plant. Root neck of the plant or rhizome. All the beginning of each growing season, ginseng grows a main stem of its rhizome sitting atop the plant's main root. What does it mean? At the beginning of each growing season, ginseng grows a main stem of its rhizome sitting atop the plant's main root. When the stem wilts and falls off at the end of growing season, it leaves a scar on the rhizome. By counting the number of scars on the age of the plant can be determined. A ginseng plant that is 5 years old will have 4 scars. Scars. Rhizome. The root neck. That's good information. So ginseng has to have 3 leaves, and then that's the 5-year-old or older ginseng. And we have a compound leaf, and each leaf has several leaflets. And when ginseng grows, when the growing season starts, the ginseng grows its stem off the rhizome and grows. But when it is getting to the end of the growing season, the stem wilts and falls to the ground, leaving the scar on the rhizome. So each year it has 1 scar. So that if there are 4 scars, the ginseng is a 5-year-old ginseng. Harvesting ginseng. Once you found ginseng plants that are mature enough to harvest, you can use the following steps to harvest it. Digging ginseng. Start by removing soil in a 5-inch radius around the plant. 5-inch radius. That's 12cm or 13cm. Pull the entire root and dirt clod from the ground to loosen the dirt around the root. Carefully remove loose soil and take care not to break off parts of the root. Replant the ripened berries where you dug up the root. Record the date and location of your collection. Replant the ripened berries where you dug up the root. Ripened berries. I would say ripe berries, but ripened berries is more formal, maybe more accurate. Replant the ripened berries where you dug up the root. Carefully remove loose soil and take care not to break off parts of the root. Pull the entire root and dirt clod. Washing ginseng. Foragers should wash roots as soon after harvesting, taking care not to damage their fragile skin. One method is to fill a 5-gallon bucket with water and wash the roots by hand, gently rubbing them or scrubbing them with a soft brush to remove loose soil. A little dirt left behind in the grooves of the root is preferable to a completely clean root, especially if it has been damaged. A little dirt left behind in the grooves of the root is preferable to a completely clean root. Preferable to a completely clean root. Really, I thought it was the other way around. I thought a completely clean root is more preferable than a dirt, or than a ginseng with grooves where the dirt is. Drying ginseng. After roots have been cleaned, they will need to be dried. First, they will need to air dry on screens out of direct sunlight for a couple of hours. Then they will need to be removed. Then they will need to be moved to a climate-controlled environment where they can dry on racks for up to 2 weeks. Racks with screens for the roots to dry on are preferred to maximize air circulation around them. Racks with screens for the roots to dry on are preferred to maximize air circulation around them. The roots should be spread out on the racks so they are not in contact with each other. A temperature of between 70 to 100 Fahrenheit should be maintained during the drying process, and they should be rotated occasionally to ensure the roots are drying evenly. Make sure to regularly inspect the roots throughout the drying process to inspect for mold and discoloration, and adjust temperature, humidity, and airflow accordingly. That's a climate-controlled room. Rotation, important. All the ginsengs get dried evenly. If you've dried your ginseng correctly, the insides will be white. You can check by breaking a few. A brown ring inside the root indicates the root dried too quickly. Moldy sections inside the root indicate it dried too slowly. Okay, so once you've dried your ginseng correctly, the insides, that's plural, will be white. The insides will be white. You can check by breaking a few. A brown ring inside a root indicates the root dried too quickly. A moldy sections inside the root indicate it dried too slowly. Resources: Ohio State University Extension, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Ohio Department of Natural Resources fact sheet, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services. That's good information. I didn't know, but it's quite a short, succinct article which describes how to find and how to dry ginseng in Ohio, right? You need to have a ginseng dealer permit, and foragers must have written permission from the landowner. And the ginseng roots, they need to be dried correctly, so that when they are dried correctly, the ring inside the ginseng root is white. But when there is a brown ring inside the root, it means the ginseng got dried too quickly. Now, if there's a mold inside the ginseng, then it means the ginseng got dried too slowly. So you got to be careful. And you need to replant the ripened berries into where you found the ginseng, right? When you pick the ginseng from the ground, you need to loosen the soil or dig the ginseng in the radius of 5 inches, that's 12 to 13 centimeters in diameter, and then you shake the dirt of the root from the clod And to wash the dirt thoroughly, you need to fill the bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket, with water, and shake the ginseng by hand and loosen the dirt of the ginseng. In Korea, we use the squirt gun. We just use high pressurized water from the nozzle and spray the water onto the ginseng roots so that all the dirt get cleaned off the ginseng. And the ginseng has to be at least 4 years old to be harvested. In general, 3 years old and older, then it's okay. To identify whether ginseng is 3 years old or not, there are two methods. One is to count the leaves. The leaves are compound. Compound leaves means one leaf has several, like 5 leaflets. If the ginseng is more than 3 years old, it has more than 3 leaves. So that's how you find out whether your ginseng is 3 years old or not. If the ginseng is not 3 years old, then you shouldn't pick the ginseng. It's a waste of time, waste of money. And then another method to find whether ginseng is 3 years old is to the scar rings. You count the scar rings. If the scar rings are 4 or more, then it means the ginseng is 5 years old. Rhizome is the root neck of the ginseng. And the new stem grows from the top of the rhizome in the growing season. And when it grows, the stem grows, and when it wilts and falls off the ground in the end of the growing season, it leaves a scar on top of the rhizome. So that means 1 cycle, 1 year. So if there is more than 3 scars, then the ginseng is 3 years old. And environmentally controlled room, you adjust temperature, humidity, and airflow. The ginseng must be dried evenly, so sometimes you need to turn the rack, right? The racks with the screens are perfect for drying ginseng. Sometimes you need to leave dirt in the grooves of the root if it has some scars, right? When it is then the dirt will protect the ginseng from outside contamination. So it is preferred, right? Preferred. And what else? What else I learned from this article? Ginseng root. Yes, the ginseng can boost the brain, help benefit brain function, increase energy, boost our body function. It helps with digestion, blood flow. What else? Menopause and all other stuff, all other symptoms. So let me go over the article real quick to remind myself of all those expressions that I try to remember. Boost the immunity, increase energy levels, and lower blood sugar. And also as a way to improve mood, boost endurance, and treat cancer, heart disease, fatigue, erectile dysfunction, hepatitis C, symptoms from menopause, and other conditions. Promising results. America inconclusive, right? Deciduous forest. Yeah, ginseng prefers to grow in the deciduous forests, preferring heavy woodland, and they favor the hillsides with heavy, dense shade and also with a rich soil. It grows predominantly in woodland, favoring slopes with rich soil and dense shade. American ginseng seedlings are typically begin to appear in May, and they begin to produce small clusters of white flowers that will develop into green fruits from June to July. The green fruits ripen into bright red berries and drop in August and September. Harvest season for ginseng root is allowed in Ohaio from September 1st to December 31st. Ohaio ginseng harvest regulations. Digging ginseng permit. Foraging. The division of wildlife. Method 1. Determine the age of ginseng plants in one of two ways. Count the number of leaves on the plant. Count the number of stem scars on the rhizome or root neck of the plant. Fall off at the end of the growing season, it leaves a scar on the rhizome. Harvesting ginseng. Once you found ginseng plants that are mature enough to harvest, pull the entire root and dirt clod from the ground. Entire root and dirt clod. Sod is different, but similar to clod. Washing ginseng, drying ginseng, ripen, wax. Make sure to regularly inspect the roots throughout the drying process to inspect for mold or discoloration. Moldy sections inside the root indicate it dried too slowly. Well, that's it. This is good information. Very short, but it provides me enough information to go to woodland and start to forage for ginseng, and also make ginseng clean and replant the seeds and make it work on my body, increasing my energy levels, help benefiting brain function, and also take care of symptoms from menopause if you're a woman, and all sorts of stuff. Thanks for listening. Oh, by the way, Sarah Welch. Sarah is a farm and dairies managing editor. Oh, very good. Raised in Portage County, Ohio, she earned a magazine journalism degree from Kent State University. That's a famous university. She enjoys spending time with her daughter, traveling, writing, reading, and being outdoors. Maybe she's a single mom. She enjoys spending time with her daughter, traveling, writing, reading, and being outdoors. Hey, Ms. Sarah Welch, if you do have time and money, please come visit us in Korea, and I would like to take you to several ginseng factories in Korea where they thoroughly wash ginseng, dry them, and dry it, and also make a gooey extract by boiling the ginseng for several hours, and it's quite potent. One spoonful of gooey ginseng extract really boosts your brain function right there on the spot, like in 5 minutes. Yes, so that maybe you can set up some business, dealership with us and make money. And also, I would like to help your business grow by working with you. Yes, I would like to go overseas, especially the America, and live there for 2 to 3 years to practice English, to understand American culture and experience it, and so on. As a matter of fact, my daughter of 20 years old, she wants to move to Canada or USA. So she's looking for a job, or she wants to go to the university. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you really want to know more about ginseng, please read other articles. But if you want to really see with your own eye how the ginseng stuff is made or processed in Korea, please contact me, and I would be happy to guide you on a tour. Of course, you need to pay for your expenses, and also maybe you need to pay for my time, which is not expensive, like $300 per day or $200 per day. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.